Hey guys, my name is John Hanson, aka Mamba Trader. Today is the last day of January, and I wanted to take a few minutes just recap what January was for me, my P&L, some pros and cons for the month. So let's take a few minutes and let's recap that. Hey guys, one more month in the books. January's over, and as stock traders, we all know that it's an emotional roller coaster ride. I had a lot of ups and a lot more downs, but still a lot to take from the month. And as a trader, I just keep telling myself every day, just keep learning more and more. You know, be better tomorrow than you were today, and be better the day after than you were the day before. You know, that's kind of that Mamba mentality that I live by. January with you, I had some really good things, and of course I still have a lot of things that I'm working on. I'd say the first really positive thing that I took away from January is finding a strategy. I found something that I believe is really going to work for me. I've been back testing it with trades, and I guess without going full details on it, candle closes below a certain shelf, get a retest and continuation. And so with that, the other pro, I guess, is I'm really starting to see the shelves. I'm not so good at trend lines. I feel like there's a lot of subjectivity to that, but the shelves, the key levels, I'm getting a really good job doing that. I started, instead of using the 3-minute and the 5-minute, I've been using more of the 1-hour chart. But I'll combine that 1-hour chart with the 5-minute to get a little bit, I guess, more zoomed in on the charts. But that 1 hour is giving me a lot of really good confirmation, and I'm finding that it's really adding to my confidence. Something else positive that I can really take away from this month is continuing to learn to be patient and disciplined. I feel like I've done a much better job not chasing plays, almost to the point that it's hurting me. There are some plays that are really going in my favor, and because it's not hitting my entry by 1 or 2 cents, I miss the trade and then it's going without me. The positive, though, is that I don't then instantly go chase it and take losses. So that's really good. Trying to stay disciplined in that, because I know those are two things that I really struggled with when I first started trading. I've heard experienced traders ask rookies, hey, if somebody was standing right over your shoulder, how would you trade differently? And so I was given the opportunity to start live streaming all my trades over at tradecaster.com, which has been really awesome because I feel like I got people, right? They're watching over me and how I trade. And the last thing I want to do is just start trading like an idiot. You know, and the other thing is building a community. I've got a bunch of people in there, new traders, some experienced traders, and we're really learning together. We're helping each other, give each other advice, and support each other, which is awesome because as a trader, we sit in our offices, our desks, our room, wherever we are, all by ourselves, and it can get lonely sometimes. Another positive is that I am really feeling good about the alerts and calls that I've been making on trades. But then I'll instantly go into a con about that, is that I'm still hesitating on entering those trades. For some reason, I'm still fearful that I'm going to lose. And so what's happening to my trading is that I make a really good call on an A+ setup. I hesitate and get afraid of entering that trade, and then that trade will end up going in my direction. So then the next trade I see, which wasn't an A+ setup, it was probably a B+ or whatever it is, I enter that one and then I end up losing. And then I'm saying, man, every trade that I don't enter, it goes in my direction. And every trade that I do enter, I end up losing. You know, and then it starts messing with my psyche. You know, I'm sure, again, other traders can relate to that. I need to just take that trade and just trust the strategy and live with the results of what the trade is. I got to remember, and I keep trying to tell myself that I'm not going to win every trade, and that's what the risk reward is. And that leads me to number 2, actually, is that my risk reward is really off right now. I had a 65% win percentage, which I'll actually bring up my trading journal here and I'll show you guys. I had a 65% overall win percentage. Okay. My long and short are very equal. Overall took 107 trades this month. That's a lot better than what I used to do. But you can see my overall profit for the month, even though it's green, was only $228. So when you have a 65% win percentage and only $228 in profits, there's a big problem. And you can see here, these are my profits on my trades. So just right off the bat, you can see my red trades are negative 634, negative 203. negative 414, negative 227. But outside the few, larger profits, you can see some of these profits: $23, $41, $24, $19. This goes towards my winning percentage, but again, it's skewing everything. I really need to work on in February keeping my risk reward. And what's happening is I'm just not sticking to my trading plan. And I hear that from a lot of beginner traders like myself, where there's like, I can't stick to my stop loss. I'll hold because I don't want to lose, but then when I have profits, I'm scared of losing my profits and I take them too soon. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I need to not be fearful to enter the trade. I need to stick to my trade plan, and most importantly, stick to my stop loss and wait for the profit taking. If I wait for the profit taking on these, my risk reward, I could be at 65%, and I guarantee you I probably would have made about $5,000 here. If you would have told me when I first started trading that the mental, the emotional side of it was one of the biggest factors in trading, I wouldn't have believed you. I thought it was about knowing levels and chart patterns and things like that. But truly, the emotional side of it is almost 90% of it. And that's hard to overcome. I'm still working on it. Even though we sit here and we know what the problem is, it truly is hard to get out of it. So I'm doing a few things myself to work on that. One of those things is sizing down. And I guess about that, my biggest losses came in the middle of the month. I was up almost $2,000 right at the middle of the month. I was super excited. I was telling myself, yes, I'm going to have a $4,000, $5,000 month here in the end. Just keep doing what I'm doing. But then what happened was I started focusing on the money instead of the execution of the trade. And so Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, I think it was like the 20th or so, right around that date, I started increasing my share size significantly. I was super excited and pumped about my strategy. And I went from trading 100 to 200 shares to 500 shares. I was trading Tesla 500 shares one day, and I ended up losing. I'll pull up the exact amount of money here on my chart, but I know one day I lost $1,500. And over that 3-day period of time, I lost about $2,200 when I was up almost, I think it was $1,900. So ultimately, I ended up being down $300. I wiped out all my profits in 3 days and ended up in the negative, and I kind of had to rebuild that and get back up. And that put me into a nosedive. I was really, really, really depressed at that point. Like, oh my gosh, here I go again. I did this again, and I do this type thing. Tuesday night, I just kind of regrouped myself, and I said, okay, I know you're not going to make much money, but we got to get back to some of the basics again. We're going to downsize 25 and 50 shares. So I went complete opposite. I just wanted to start building back up my confidence slowly. And so that's what I did. And I ultimately got up, before today, I was up about $400. And then today I was up $200. I was excited. I wanted to make sure that I ended the month in the green, not only for the day, but for the month. And so I wanted to be careful. So I was up $200. Jerome Powell speaking today, and I'm like, I'm done. Well, if you guys have probably done this as well. I came back to the computer. I wanted to see what was going on with the market, and I decided to take some trades. So I took a trade. I lost $300, I think, on it. And so then instead of being up 200, I was down 100. And then I'm sure you can guess what happened next. I took another trade because I wanted to make up for that, and I didn't want to end the day in the red. And I dug myself even deeper. Ultimately, I think I ended up down $800 or $900. Again, I was up 200. So I had lost $1,100 in a matter of 30 minutes. And this is where, again, that over trading happens. We think, okay, we're up 200, we can make more money, but it doesn't always work that way. And so that's what happened to me. And I just dug myself a hole. I got super lucky at the end of the day because the market tanked. I was in a short on Tesla, made back a lot of the money, and I ended up closing the day out down 145. So, but still, I could have just gone and enjoyed the rest of my day, but I came back to work essentially, right? And I lost $350. That's something that I did numerous times when I try to dig myself out of that hole because I don't want to end up red. I just keep digging deeper and deeper. So before I end this recap, I also wanted to share with you my Charles Schwab account here. You can actually see the graph of January. Started out my account at $27,651. You can see my overall month change, a whopping $228 on the month. And you can see my growth, you know, and it just slowly inclined there, but then a big drop here. You know, I lost $400 that day, right? And then again, just slow and sure, you know, I was about $200, $300 a day. Got here to 29,394, which actually this day, I'll tell you, I was up about $400 and I lost it at all. So again, 27,651, 29,394. Again, I was up that day. So I was up a little over $2,000. And then you can see lost and lost huge. This was my $1,500 loss day. Lost again, and this is where I slowly started climbing. I guess actually I made more money than I thought that day. I made 222, it looks like, the next day. Next day after that made about $300, so that's good. Next day only made 40. Lost 70. Made about 300, and then today ended up losing 150. So, you know, here at the end of the month, you can see not nearly as good as to what I did here in the beginning of the month. So I really want to get back to that, stay true to myself and not go crazy and oversize again. I need to continue to work on my trading strategy, keep building that confidence, and just not be fearful of entering my trades. So that's really my goal going into February, is just trade my alerts. If I see something, trade it. And again, just live with the results. Remember, I'm not going to be perfect. I'm going to take some losses, but stick to the trading plan. And I think something I'm going to try on Thinkorswim is they have bracket trades. So I can put my entry and then put a stop loss and a profit target. And then instead of letting my emotions take over in that trade, just set it and just take my hand off of the mouse and just let it work. So that's something I'm going to try and do for February and see what that results in. I'd hate to put a goal on money, because when I start focusing in on the money, I end up losing more money than I make, that's for sure. So I hope all of you that are learning to trade are growing as well. I know there's a lot of struggles that we go through. You're not alone in that. But if you're interested in joining like our community over at Tradecaster, come over there. There's a 7-day free trial that you can get. And there's a lot of great traders in there, a bunch of different people that you can learn from, be supportive with. You know, you don't have to sit at home all by yourself. So it's a really, really good community. I would encourage you, join us over there and join my lobby, and we can trade together and learn together. So I'll do another one of these recaps in February, as well as I'm going to do some videos kind of throughout the month on some good trades, some bad trades, and everything in between. So keep following me, you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much.